Thank you all for coming to this presentation. And as I said before we begin this presentation, we just have 10 minutes to talk about it. I promise to be as fast as I can. I also do the demonstration, and I'm be around for any questions that you have afterwards, okay? So today we're going to talk about Ramalama. Have you ever heard this word before? Nah, you don't count. I've never heard of, honestly, but it's based on a song from the 1950s. You're not that old to know that song. I'm not that old, but the project, it's named after the song because it's based also, as you can see, on llama. So the guys thought it would be fun to have a name like that, all right? But Ramalama intends to bring containers and AI together to make it boring, as we were saying here. How? So the focus of the project aims two type of people. First, the developers here. How many developers do we have in the house? Oh, okay, many of you. So you can agree with me that you guys look for simplicity. You guys look for ease of integration. You guys look to customize, to control your own code, your own application, your own models. How can you do that if you're storing your models or application in a cloud environment? You don't, right? Not always. So the idea is to have something that you can work right on your laptop. A low-cost laptop. For example, I'm running here a ThinkPad T480X. This is the model of my laptop. It's not like a super-duper researched laptop. It's a laptop like anyone else's has, with CPU, by the way, but I can run models on my own laptop. And you can do it on your own as well, using MacBook or whatever else you have, including Windows. So that's the idea. As long as it runs containers, you can run Ramalama on them, and you can run your models on top of it as well. Also, you can fool around with different models, different platforms, different codes, etc. And you can test directly on your machine. That gives you speed, velocity. That's what you want. Also, for the organizations, the idea is that after you experiment this on your own laptop or your own system, you can then bundle that up and migrate that to a production environment. It doesn't matter where it is. Also, you can control your data. That's very important. We had a lot of different talks in this conference about controlling your own data, compliance with the regulatory compliance, governments, rules that exist all around the world. Each region has its own regulatory compliance rules, right? So the idea is that you can control your own code if it's on-premise. And with Ramalama, you can do that. Also, with Ramalama, as I said before, you're going to run all of your models inside containers. So Ramalama basically works as a wrapper for Podman. How many of you here are aware or knows about Podman? Cool. So for those who don't know Podman, Podman is like Docker, but better. So you can run any containers that you want that are OCI compliant with Podman. And Ramalama works as a wrapper for this, putting all the parameters together for you to run the models that you want inside these containers in a secure way. Also agnostic because it runs different types of models and registries, for example, Hugging Face or Llama, OCI registries. Also, it's GPU optimized. It identifies auto-detect the type of GPU that you have in your system and then downloads the specific container images for it. And also it's flexible because it allows you to work with different types of running servers, like, for example, Llama CPP, OpenVINO, VLLM, as I mentioned before, Whisper, and many others. The cool thing about Ramalama as well is that it allows you to work with different platforms for GPUs like CUDA, Vulkan, ROCm, Intel GPU, and some others. It also allows you to work with different hardwares. And that's the beauty of it, because you know, according to the different types of GPU that you have, you need to recompile your code, your model to work with that specific GPU. With Ramalama, you don't need to do that because, as I said before, it auto-detects the type of GPU that you have in your system and then downloads the specific container image with a model that suits that GPU that you have in your system. So that's a beautiful thing. By the way, as I mentioned before, it supports different types of GPUs from Intel, AMD, Vulkan, Ascend, NPUs, and some others. And it is agnostic. It works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. Also, it makes it easy for you to select the type of model that you want. For example, I'm no data scientist, okay? I'm no developer. I'm just an infra guy who happens to work with AI. I don't know what the heck means all this names, like lengthy names with parameters, quantization, stuff. I don't know. I just want to work, for example, with Gemma, or I just want to download Granite, and I don't care about the parameters, parameterizations, and stuff like that. So it makes it easy for you to select the model that you want, only running a simple command like Ramalama run and the name of the model, period. And it downloads the specific model that suits your hardware capacities. Also, as I mentioned before, it is secure because it runs on containers. And Podman runs containers in a rootless way. That means that your code, your model, won't have access directly to your hardware or to your operating system. Also, it runs isolated from your network. What happens if you need to your model to communicate to your network? There's a parameter for that. You can enable that. But by default, it runs off your network. And finally, as I mentioned, you can take all of this to production. How? Because Ramalama generates both quadlets. Quadlets, it's a way of Podman to generate systemd unit files for you to run all of this automated in your individual systems, or you can generate YAML files that you can put into production into Kubernetes cluster or OpenShift, for example. And finally, as I mentioned before the talk, if you watched the presentation yesterday about Dockling, Ramalama, the next step is Ramalama supporting Dockling for RAG. That means you can use Dockling to compile your documents, like for example PDF, HTML, Markdown, etc., to generate something that can be ingested, processed by your model, and then you can provide RAG through them using Ramalama as well. And not talking, let's see if I can do a quick demo for you. I have 4 minutes left. Let's see. So there is a script that is available into the official GitHub repository, and let me make it bigger for you, like this. All right. So with Ramalama version, what I can see here is the version that is installed in my system using pip. With Ramalama info, I can see the configuration that I have available in my system for this Ramalama installing. As you can see here, a lot of different parameters that I can tweak if it's necessary. Now, with Ramalama pull, I'm pulling a model, but this model is available, as I said before, through a container image named small-lm. So if I pull that, I've already did that because I don't trust the internet here. As you can see, I can grab for it, and you see that this image is already available in my system. Also, it's the same thing if I run Podman images. As you can see here, it's showing me the different images that I have available in my system. Now, with Ramalama run, I can simply execute a bash into the container and interact with my model like this. I'm using Granite. So I can ask, for example, who is me? Who is Alexon Oliveira from Red Hat? And of course, I'm running on top of CPU, so it's not going to be that fast, but at least it's going to give me something. Every time I do this, it answers something different about me. Sometimes it says that I'm a wrestler. Sometimes it says that I'm an engineer. Sometimes it says that I'm a political guy. This time it says that I'm a software engineer. Wrong. I'm a specialist in cloud native. That's correct. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just so you can see that it is working inside my container. And now what I'm doing is I'm serving this model again, but now through its API, there's an application, a chatbot that is going to access that to me. As you can see, I'm opening it using Firefox, and now I can interact with this model through this chatbot as well. I did this before, and as you can see, he answered different this time. It said that I was product manager and stuff, okay? It says that I'm here since 2015. Wrong. I'm at Red Hat since 2018. So the next step, I'm going to stop this model, this container. As you can see here, there's no container running. And now I'm going to convert this model. One thing that I forgot to mention is that it works with different registries and formats. So I can convert a specific format in this way. This format is Olama. I can convert it to use OCI registries format. So that's what I'm doing now. It's trying to put the latest image, which I already had. And now if I check here, it converted my image to Quay.io registry, a OCI registry. And now I'm generating a YAML file out of this container. And as you can see here, it generated a YAML with the deployment. And I can take this deployment file, this YAML file, and apply in my production environment. And that way I have all my model, my application, everything up and running. Finally, I can generate qualys out of it. So quality, as I said before, are systemd unit files. So it generates for the volume, for the container, and for the image. So as you can see here, it generated for the volume, image, and for the container. And finally, I can work with multi-model models as well. In this case, this is a simple application that I can show to you that is interacting with this model. And the simple application is just a camera interaction app that I can do an inference here. For example, what celebrity do they look like? Do you remember this, Carol? Yes. Let's see. I hope it doesn't say something bad about me. So it is processing right now. It is interacting with my model. Justin Bieber. It nailed, as you can see. Sometimes it hallucinates. Not this time. This time it's so right. So finally, I'm going to stop this model, as you can see here, and I'm done. This is a basic and simple demonstration, but you can do much more with Ramalama. The idea here is just show you the power of this tool, and I guess you can try it on your own laptops as well. Thank you. I'm around for any questions. Is the next speaker here? No? Okay, so shoot me. Unless you don't want to, I'm fine. But
anybody want to try that demo for themselves?
yeah, since we have time, let me show you real quick this. If you check here, the Ramalama project. By the way, I've submitted a PR yesterday at night to change something here. If you navigate here through Docs, Demo, that's the script that I used for this demonstration. You can try it as well in your own laptops. Also, the camera demo application is also here. And you can see what it's doing and how it's accessing the model and interacting with it as well.